I asked her for her body
Well,
count.
first of all, I don't know how to answer this question.
Okay.
But I know the number that I stopped counting at.
Oh.
Is that fair? Does that count as the truth?
That's fine.
300.
Damn.
300.
Yeah.
Welcome to the S.Banks&JD Network podcast. I'm your host, S.Banks, and I'm joined by my co-host,
JD.
So, what are we talking about?
She doesn't know her body count, but she knows when she stopped counting.
Ooh, okay.
Saucy.
Okay.
Mad bodies.
No intro. Let's jump right in. Here's video number 1.
I asked her for her body
Well,
count.
first of all, I don't know how to answer this question.
Okay.
But I know the number that I stopped counting at.
Oh.
Is that fair? Does that count as the truth?
That's fine.
300.
Damn.
300.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you alright?
300. Okay.
300.
Like 300.
Yes.
Okay. You said you stopped counting at 300.
Yes.
Okay.
After that,
Wow.
Man had to verify.
Yes. Wait, hold on a second. So 300, right?
Man had to,
Yeah.
to double check.
So that's when you stopped counting at 300. Yeah. Whoa.
Well, I remember a chick and she said, it was a young girl and she was like, oh, I'm trying to reach 100 bodies by the time I'm 18.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
This woman has dwarfed that.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Well, she seems older, so, but yeah.
Yeah, she's
By the
definitely
time that
older.
18-year-old gets to her age, you'll probably be around that as well.
Yeah, it'd be probably like, I don't know,
Crazy.
because she said she stopped at 300 and
She stopped
That's-
counting at 300.
yeah, so that seemed like that was a while ago. But what's your thoughts on that?
That's crazy.
Mm,
That is nuts. It literally is. That is crazy to me. 300. This is the. It's not actually. Men don't even really get to that. They
Certain
don't.
men.
Okay. No. Okay. Let's say the majority of men don't really get 300 women.
Yeah.
300. Listen to the
But
number.
fellas, I'll say this though. Let me highlight this though, as you're on that point. I think some may disagree. A man with experience needs to have a certain amount. He needs to have been with a certain amount of women. So for me, I'd say at least 50 women or more for him to have some experience. For women, it's different. Men value your virtue, as in, you ain't had 300 bodies. Less than 5 is good. So we know women that had more than 10 bodies is likely to be, she can't sustain long-term relationships, or she files for divorce. This is facts. So I just want to put that point out there. You can continue with your point.
I was just saying 300 is a lot. I think for anybody, for a man and definitely for a female, but
Yeah.
for a man, 300 women is a lot of women.
If a man, okay, hold up. If a man said to you, he's had 300 bodies, would that be a turn off to you?
It is kind of a turn off, to be
Why?
honest,
Why?
because it's like, oh,
And ladies, say in the comments, if a man has 300 body count, is that a turn off for you? Put your thoughts down below. I think I disagree. I don't think. I think when you say it out loud, maybe. But then, if a man can smash 300 chicks, this means a man has to know what women want. And for him to smash so many women, he's got to have some skills. And women want men that
has
have some
skills.
experience.
see, I get what you mean, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
But obviously, the numbers, like, wow, that's no. If you had a lineup,
Because it seems dirty.
if you had it, of course it does. If you had a lineup of 300 women, it's like, whoa, that is a lot of women. Now, it can't. 300 women can't. They'll fill a room. Sorry, there'll be too many for like the size of a room. You're gonna need a massive room for 300 women.
That depends
So-
the size of the room.
It does depend. That's why I said I changed my mind and said the size of the room. But
I'm
anyway,
being silly, I'm
I'm
being
just
silly.
saying that for her as a female, And I know lots of people, lots of women these days anyway, will maybe disagree or have a problem with what I'm going to say, but 300 men bodies is terrible. I'm sorry to say.
Why are you sorry to say that?
300. Because I know that.
Do men typically wifey women with high body counts?
No.
They don't.
300 is crazy.
Yeah.
Now, like say what you were saying before, like 10 bodies, 20 bodies. 20 bodies was crazy.
Okay.
Like in a certain
you
time.
just offended loads of women.
Look, I said
Because
to me.
you said 20, they'd be like, hey, I'm on 100. They're
Well,
80 more.
Okay, first of all, it's up to you what the hell you do. That's if you want to do that, that's fine. That's your decision. I'm just saying that back in the day, a certain number would be like, whoa. But now, this woman is saying 300. I'm sure we watched something, I can't remember, and the woman said around 700.
Yeah, but she was trying to break the that woman you're referring to. She was Guinness World Records.
I'm not even talking about her.
Which one?
I'm talking about someone else. I can't remember. Can't put my finger on it right now. But she said she smashed. I'm pretty sure she said over 600 or over 600 men. I'm pretty sure it was like a podcast type of thing. I think she was on. Yeah, and then there's a Guinness World Record woman who obviously smashed more than that.
And something. Yeah. And then there was a woman not that long ago, and she beat that record of maybe 1,000 or something. Then I heard a chick not that long ago. She smashed like about 2,000, and that was men and women. So it's the norm now. But let me say this though. In one of my notes is this, right? Do you feel that women mismanage their coochie?
Yeah.
And now the culture is I'm free and I'm liberated, right? Mm-hmm. But then when it's time to, where is it? Well, now she wants to cash out. They have problems bagging a man minus the ring. Mm-hmm. So because they have trouble pair bonding with men because they smash so many, a lot are finding it hard later on in life. Because it's fun. It's fun. It's like linking man and doing all that shit. It's fun.
But do you like have a day job? Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to, understand how you find time to smash. You just said the woman smashed around 2,000 people. When did you find time to do that?
It's different. Okay. Dating is different for men and women because women don't need to go out their way to do anything. They don't need to extend anything. Men reach for the women. So if men are on dating sites, which I don't really recommend if you're trying to find a woman seriously, but women can just put a picture up.
Okay.
Men's gonna slide in their DMs. She don't need to do much. It's just responding. No. So hold on. So men play PlayStation, Xbox, consoles, whatever, right? Whatever your choice is. Women play with men. So maybe that's their game. I don't know. Put in the comments, guys. Put in the comments, ladies. What do you guys think? Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. Does body count matter? So does it matter for the man to have a high body count? Kind of said that already. Does it matter for women to have a high body count? Put in the comments if you think the ladies should have a high body count, or where as a man, what would be the highest bodies you would accept?
Yeah.
Obviously, you'd prefer a virgin.
I think that varies though. So I think some guys might say my limit to wifey a chick is 5. Some might say there's 10, right? But we know, I think above 5 or 10, women, there's a high possibility they're going to divorce you after 10 years. But my thing is this, if a woman is smashing so many guys to a guy that conveys that she's active and poor decision making. So she doesn't really have good decision making. And if we have to determine paternity of children, she's been with too many men. So I know basically more time, that's a damaged woman. So even if she says that's fun, she's still kind of, she's a bit too free for me.
I was going to say, do men find women that have been with so many bodies tainted? Are they tainted? Because let's be honest, men, when they get married, or traditionally, you would marry a virgin. A woman who hasn't had
You're,
anybody.
you're talking the thing of the past.
That was a long time ago, I
100
know.
years ago.
But I'm just saying, but men still think in that way. I'm not saying times hasn't changed, it has changed. And the way some men think has changed also. But well, nowadays a lot of women have had bodies. So then I guess it's a bit harder to
the
find a
norm now.
woman that has low body
You're
count.
not gonna find a woman in today's culture with a low body count. It's rare. You're gonna have to go into the deepest part of the woods to find that kind of woman. But what about the women where men have gassed them? Are they poor decision makers, or they're just not seeing through the fog? Because some guys is good. A man will travel to the moon. He will travel to the other side of the planet just to get some coochie. So for him to gas, some women might be naive and say, you know what? I got the proposal. And listen, you got some man that will propose in front of their family and do all of that. He do the whole celebration,
lie.
everything, right? Exactly. And it's a lie. So I'm sure some of those ladies going to put some of their stories
to
in
you
the comments.
that do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Men will lie through their teeth and all sorts of ish to get some coochie. Especially the ones that really don't really demand or can't get the demand for women. But yeah, they will lie, all right. Like you said, to propose in front of family members and everything, and you're lying.
I've seen that.
That's crazy.
I've seen the dude on Instagram, right? And he was getting married to his baby mom, or his obviously fiance, which was his baby mom. And then his other baby mom come through and was like, she mashed up the whole wedding. And it was a jacked up situation. So he must have gassed them both. I don't know. Like, who's the side chick? Like, that was a mad situation. I'm sure people, if they remember it, would know what I'm talking about. But let me ask a question. Ladies, if you have a son that brought home a woman like this, in this particular clip, that has this kind of mindset, lacks decision making, with a 300 body plus, that's on the roster, 300 bodies on a roster. What advice would you give your son? Put in the comments. I extend that question to you. What would you do if your son brought home a woman like this with a 300 body count and was like, hey, so she's 300 and counting?
I
What'd you say?
No, no, no. No. That's a big fat no for me. I would not advise for him to date her at all. And that to some people may be like, why? What's wrong? Listen, no.
That's because that's because the shoe fits, as far as
I would
maybe
not.
that's them.
Listen, I do what I do. With my son, you could do whatever you would do your son, but my son, that's a no. A woman who's had a high body count.
What would be your advice?
I would not. I'll say no to that.
Say something.
Find
nice.
a next girl.
So your answer will be, how would you approach that situation? You say, so he goes, Mum, what do you think about this woman? I think she's a cool woman.
I would
explain the scenario.
If I met her,
you don't need to be graphic, because she got her back blown up 300 times by 300 different men.
If he brought her to me, and obviously I found out whatever, and I met her, I'm not saying that a woman, just because she has a high body count, is a horrible, nasty person. No, she may be nice. She may be a very lovely person, but based on your body count, I'm going to say no. And the reasons for that, yes, exactly, is like we said before about pair bonding. And a lot of the time, you're kind of damaged goods. So I'm not trying to be mean or anything. A lot of people have been damaged, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of women.
For various reasons.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, that's just a no. I want my son to find a woman who doesn't have issues and problems, whatever. Or if she did, it's very minute to where it doesn't become a problem in their relationship.
Later on.
Exactly. I don't want him to be turning around, I just found out that she cheated on me with this man down the road. Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, no.
Okay. Fair enough. What about women that, I think majority of women do not understand their SMV, which is sexual market value, or the equivalent of. Now, this woman has 300 bodies, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she's a bad person. And many women have similar numbers, or 100 or whatever. And that might be too high for most men, which I think it is. Any man of any real substance. There's no point women trying to shame men and say, oh, a real man would accept blah, blah, blah. Let's just be real. If your looks ain't up to par, or if you are very pretty, because she's quite a good looking woman in that clip, but she got 300 body count, it's too much for most men. But they still think, oh, because I'm getting these dudes slide up in my DM, I'm the ish, and I can close out, and I can.
Well,
When
if
it's
you
that
just
time.
if you just look at the video that we played, right, the clip, just come out of your emotions for a second, right? If you are a woman that has a similar body count to her, look at the man's reaction to what she said, and that just says it all. He couldn't even, he was speechless for a second.
But looks
It's like,
wise,
wow.
yeah, but looks wise, she was quite a good looking woman.
No one's saying that you're ugly. No one's saying that
You're
you're
a
a
bad
bad
person,
person or you have a terrible character or anything like that. No one is saying that.
Yeah.
We're basing it just off of your body count.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because he didn't say, oh, you're a nasty person. He was just like, wow, 300 is a lot for him.
like the rest of us.
I'm just saying. So I honestly, I think a lot of women, you know, you know, sometimes you need to sit and talk to somebody and figure out
Call a therapist.
your stuff. Exactly. So
Call a therapist, man. It's called a therapist. My last thought on that is, I think most men would go down in looks to go up in quality. So if I got to go with a chick that is let's say she's average, she's a 6 or 7 or whatever, I'd run with that than a chick that's an 8, 9 or a 10 and she has a 300 body count. That's food for thought.
I think
That's
most
my
men would
final
do
thought.
that.
I agree. We concur.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move to the final clip of today, which is clip number 2, and then we'll come back, give you our thoughts. Anyways, here's clip number 2.
So me and my best friend have been living together for the past 2 years, and we've decided to officially be life partners, platonic version. So that kind of looks like what you guys have going on who are dating, except with her, there's no like sexual intimacy. We pretty much do everything together as a couple when it comes down to groceries, when it comes down to debt, when it comes down to finances. We work with everything together, and now we recently decided that we want to purchase a house in Vancouver together. So that's going to be happening soon. And honestly, I just think platonic life partnerships are far more better than romantic ones, because it's like you're never leaving and we're working on this and we love each other, like genuinely healthily love each other. And I feel like this is what every Black woman needs, a healthy platonic life partner. So this is your sign to go get you one.
Okay, that's the end of that clip. So our last question. So does that sound like a plan for you ladies? Who's up for it? Put in the comments. What's your thoughts?
Is she being serious? What? Really?
Who's doing it?
Look. Huh?
Who's doing it?
Look, okay,
Some will do.
I've heard something similar. But really? Are you being serious? Like, and I'm sorry, she mentioned Black women at stop there. Do not talk for all Black women. No. I'm Black. No. I disagree with your decisions that you want to make right now. And you cannot compare a platonic, sexless partnership with your friend to someone in a normal, healthy relationship with a man. How can you compare it? Just
Okay.
stop it. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Okay. The Asian women, I think it's in South Korea or I don't think it's Japan. Let me just say Asia. The leftover women, which is the women that's 25 and above, the women that never got married because they were too old, basically they were rebels because they took careers in being a florist, and they believe being a florist will make ends meet. They're the women that went into hostels sharing accommodation with other women. Now they're too old and they're realizing, oh my days, let's just say Asia is maybe about 20 years ahead of us, and
That's a lot.
they've done that and they're realizing this don't work. The state can't cope because society is built for two people.
What England is struggling with right now.
Yeah, so in the next 20 years, I'm sure,
It's gonna be the same thing, yeah.
yeah, you're going to see a lot of women that are single. Depression rates are going higher.
Shared accommodation with women.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of that. What else do you think?
Like, okay, what I heard was she's unwilling to be. Now, I get tongue tied with this word for some reason, but
Cooperate.
cooperative
Cooperative.
with
Cooperative.
a man,
Man.
with a man, and she's just giving excuses. I'm sorry, like you'd really say you'd rather do this with your best friend than to have a serious relationship, a proper relationship with a man to where you're truly happy. This is what you prefer. Because don't think her best friend is going to be around for that whole time. Because the second her best friend finds a man who she deems as a proper
As worthy.
man, exactly, she's gone.
Well, okay.
Oh, she would never leave.
To touch on that point, what happens when one of them has a link?
That's what I'm
Say it's
saying.
not even a dude that they deem worthy, but you have a link, sneaky link. How does that dynamic work? Because we all thinking it. Now, it's all good. She can do what she want to do. If she thinks that, okay, let me get a house or hostel with my friend, that's all good. If you want to share rent, do all of that. But I'm saying, what happens when you've bought a house together or you're renting a house together or a mortgage together? Then one of you, do you sleep in the same room? How's the dynamic
No,
work?
I don't
And
think it's that.
say you have a separate room, but then one of you brings home a dude, your sneaky little link, and the other one starts to cock block and all of that. Like, how does that work? It all seems long to me. So for me, I'd say, is it not easier just to get into a committed relationship and build a family with a man than all of this? This just seems kind of long, in my opinion. Now, maybe she can shed some light on something I don't know, but I'm saying you'd rather rent a room or a house or get a mortgage with a woman just because, not because you're unable, because you don't want to cooperate with a man.
Exactly. I'm sorry, just
Okay.
how about she just cooperate with a man?
But is it not easier just to get a man, start a family, build communities, and do your thing instead of all of this? That what she said just seems long.
It is long.
Okay.
Like, you're putting all your efforts into this with your best friend when you can put that same amount of effort into finding a decent man. Like, why
Yeah.
would you do that?
Yeah.
That's just
What happens when she brings around a dude? Dude likes both of them. The friend is her man or her link, sneaky link. And then the friend likes the man though, but the man's kind of feeling the friend. Where's the girl code then?
exactly.
Because it happens.
And I did actually write that.
Touch on that for
I
a
said
moment.
there ain't no real woman code, girl code, blah, blah, blah. Women will stab you in your back. Even your friends will. And some of you, your mothers will stab you in your back for your man too.
Oh,
Now-
sensitive.
It's a real. I'm being real. I've heard many stories about that, and we've actually done a podcast on that. Go and check it out. We're gonna link it somewhere above.
Okay.
So
Day, and this is what you do with my mom? Is you serious? I know you fucking lying, and you just sitting there quiet. You ain't got shit to say, mom? Really? You ain't got shit to say.
Really? So you just
No, I don't want to hear that. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on Facebook. I want everybody to see the two is right here. What they doing in my bed? My bed.
I'm still your mother.
I don't care who you are. Obviously, you don't care that I'm your daughter, right?
No,
You over here sleeping with my baby daddy. This my fucking baby daddy.
You don't clean.
Because I be at work. I be at work.
You don't.
I be at work.
Like,
yes, a lot of women, like you said, you gave the story.
Okay.
It happens all the time. The friend will start coming out of her room with booty
Listen,
shorts
man,
and all sorts
I-
of things
I-
on
I
to
speak-
lure the man into
Whenever
the
I say
room.
something, right, I speak from experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go into all the details of the story.
Oh,
but
we want to know though.
yeah, that's Patreon. Man. That's Patreon.
Gotta
But
pay.
yeah, so I speak from experience. It is what it is. I'd say winter is coming. I don't feel sorry for a lot of these women because they made their bed, so they should lie in it. At the end of the day, I'm not going to listen to their sob story. Nature has a way of balancing things back out. So if they're going to be a lonely, die alone, single cat lady, that's what it is. While you were young, you had the choice, but then
You chose not to.
yeah, you chose to not cooperate with a man for whatever reason. And I'm not going to go into that, but that's on you. I'm not saying this is the case for them. If that's their decision, so be it.
By all means.
So be it. You know, but again, as women get older, what they will do is this. They realize that logic didn't work. So then they're going to bait and switch a guy. The whole chameleon, the whole praying mantis.
Or try to.
Soft girl era. So they're going to do all of that. And they're going to grab the nearest sucker. Right? The one that's naive. The one that they want, the guy that they want for security and his resources. Snatch that dude up, get what they get, divorce him, and get their back blown out by the pool guy because he's Brad and Chad or he's Pookie and Ray Ray. That's what happens more time. But kudos to her. I'm just saying, that's my final thought on that.
If that works for her, then hey, it is what it is. I just think it's ridiculous, and I think the efforts you're putting into your best friend, you should just put it into a man, and you get a better result. That's what I think.
I concur, because there's gonna be that point where they say, "Oh, I want to have children." What about that? They've left off finding a long-term relationship because they're too old. You can shame men for saying, "Oh, you go for younger women." They want to shame Leonardo DiCaprio for going for young women, but nature's nature. It is where it is. And I said, nature has a way of balancing things out. That's my thought on that. Anything else before we close out?
No.
Okay. And that being said, that's our thoughts. Guys, tell us what you think. We're curious to know what you guys think. Put in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button if you love to see this content. Anyways, we out. See you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.